Okay. So during the coaching sessions, though this was something that, you know, the coaches never leak out the internal information, but since he was a colleague of ours and he was a friend, so he only himself shared it with us that during the coaching, the coaches asked such questions where it triggered him inside, where he felt that what is the main cause? Why do I get nervous in front of people, especially when it comes to giving presentation? And he does that on a daily basis with everybody with such confidence. And they must have done some exercise and, you know, probing questions and all that. And I think after 2 3 months he was getting better and better with that. He was overcoming the fears. So, coaching sessions, mentoring, where you can assign a mentor to an employee, where this mentor is going to take care of, keep guiding, timely basis, and understand where this person is, how we can bring that person up. So, this all methods are something which is done while you're working on the job. Off the job training methods would be where you're taking a break, especially for this training program, leaving your work aside, and then attending this training program. So, the entire concentration, your entire focus is going to be on the training sessions. Specially designed classroom lectures, films and videos. So they might come and, you know, just show you a video and says, okay, tell me what have you learned from this video, and a discussion happens around that. Simulation exercises, where a lot of exercises will be designed and planned, where they'll ask you to perform on it and then make you realize what a person goes through, right? Discussion methods, a group will be assigned, or a big group will be divided into 2 3 groups of smaller groups, and then they'll ask you to work on a problem and come out with a solution. And once you start getting digger into deep, then you realize, oh, this can also be one of the areas, you know, where we don't look into. So when different people from different background form in a group and they start discussing about a same problem, then you realize that there are certain things, your knowledge or your perception gets limited because you're just working in one organization, or maybe because you've just worked in one city, right? So you share new experiences when it comes to different people with different background. Seminars and conferences, case studies, role playing, and business games. Any question on this slide?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Job rotation involves moving employees to various positions in the organization to expand their skills, knowledge, and abilities. Assistant to position allows employees with potential to work under and to be coached by a successful manager. Lecture courses and seminar, I'm sure you're aware of. Committee assignments usually provide an opportunities where you're working in a community or a group of people and you're working together to achieve a certain goal. So what happens when you're working in the team, you take everybody's view, and then based on all facts and figures you take a decision. You also learn different styles, different perceptions, different examples by watching and observing others, becoming more and more familiar with the organizational members and the problems that they face. Simulations, as I said, it includes case studies, decision games, and role plays, and are intended to improve your decision making skill. Outdoor training typically involves challenges which team trainees the importance of teamwork. So a special program where certain games or exercises are designed where you can bring the entire team to work together to achieve a certain goal.
Ma'am, does all the organization work like this?
Work
Like
like
even the
this.
start? like go through the training?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, see, these are the all different methods, right? If you see these. So organization depends on the organization, which form will they choose, which method will they choose, and which method they think is good for a particular set of training. So suppose I have like posh training, right? Now it can be done through an online thing, the way we are doing it. It can be done in a classroom thing. It can be done by just showing a video to them. So you have to understand who your audience is, what are you planning to teach, and then decides the method. So more or less every organization does. Methods can be different. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's understand training effectiveness. Now, Kirkpatrick, this is one of the most widely used method, especially for evaluating the effectiveness of a training program. See, what is the use of designing and doing the assessment of a training program when you feel that it didn't made any difference? I am giving this training for 2 hours to you, and then I realize that the candidate has not learned anything, or there is no difference in his knowledge, or the way he is working, or in his performance. Then it makes no sense of a training program, right? It is developed and designed by Don Kirkpatrick. The framework offers a comprehensive 4 level strategy to evaluate the effectiveness of any training program. So, this is taken as a base to understand the effectiveness. First, he says reaction. You need to understand whether the employee who is attending the training program, what is he thinking? Do you think he's satisfied? Do you think he's feeling good about the training that he's taken? Is he enjoying the training program? Is he participating? Right? So what are the reactions, different type of reaction that you see in a candidate while he's get being trained? Second aspect or the level that he thinks is learning. How well learner have retained the knowledge. So this training program was for 2 days. Do you think he's going to remember whatever you've taught him? Or there are few key takeaways that he's going to take? Whatever you've been teaching him for 2 days, do you think it will value him in his performance? Will it come handy at his work? Right? Third is your behavior. How well the learner has put this knowledge into practice. How well has he adapted to whatever tips or new information that you have shared in the training program? He goes back to the job and he performs and adapts to those. Did the candidate behavior change because of the training? And last is the result. What is the overall impact the training have had on him? Did the training have a measurable impact on the performance? Is he doing better? So these are the 4 ways where you can see there's a difference in candidates, employees' knowledge. But assessing them on the effectiveness of a training program is a very difficult task, because here we are talking about knowledge and behavior, which sometimes even the candidate doesn't realize that there has a change happened. Sometimes whatever you've learned in a 2 day program, you keep writing and then you never refer it back, right? Sometimes you take the key away, you practice it for few days, and then again you're back to your normal behavior. So is it an ongoing thing? Are you doing a repetitive reminder of these learning practice? So what is the method you're taking and how you're assessing the effectiveness plays a very important role in any learning and development practice. Okay. How can an HR evaluate training methods result when measures aren't easy to calculate? So if somebody says that I need to be trained on, say, leadership quality, but I've not been given an opportunity to work with a team, how are you going to assess whether I am a good leader or not? Were the situation favorable where you can assess the candidate on these terms? So there are different, approaches and there are different solutions to it. So first level, what was the reaction to the training? Second, what has the candidate learned? Is there a new thing? Is there a new knowledge that he's taking back? Third, did training change the behavior? And fourth, did it benefit the employer? What was the outcome in the performance? Now let's understand, how do we analyze the training needs, right? Okay, tell me, do you think um, organization can work without training department? Because if I take experienced people from the market, they're already being trained, they already have an experience, then why do I have to train them in my organization? Why do I have to invest so much of my time and energy, and especially taking the time of the employee and then training them? Why do I have to do it? Why do you think organization have a training and department? Any idea? Any thoughts? Anyone?
Maybe because the organization has a goal and the employees should be molded in such a way that their goals should, be in par with the organization's goal as well. Maybe
Right.
because of that.
What else? Anyone else?
Because, ma'am, there is always a room for learning and updation
Hmm.
because things are never constant and things are improving with market. There are a lot of things that are coming up, and you need to ensure that your employee has the knowledge of the same.
Right.
In this COVID situation, things have changed a lot, and the people have to adapt to a lot of things and such.
Right. Right. True that. So with changing times, knowledge is something that you have to keep adding on to it, right? You need to keep learning new things. Every day you're learning something new, be it a life skill, be it something related to your work. Now, Zoom and, you know, uh, using online sessions were not very common before COVID. Now everything is happening online. So I can see a lot of people who were not very, comfortable using, internet, or comfortable using sessions like this, or and always preferred a human touch or a face-to-face thing, are also now learning it because this is the time demands, right? This is what the necessity is right now. And especially also the first point that they had discussed, that because we want the employee to get settled and get mold as per the organizational goals, as per the culture that we offer, right? So let's understand the steps of designing a training program. First is a training need analysis. We'll understand everything in detail, but just to give you a brush up here, training need analysis is also known as TNA. Now, this training need analysis is to find a gap between where the employee is and where the employer wants the employee to be. So, the gap is your analysis. Second, the next step is designing of training a course. Once you understand what the gap is, you design a training program for that. So when you're doing the assessments, suppose out of 10 employees, there are two who are very weak in written communication. Two who feel that their communication is very strong, but they're very poor in listening. So you can't be making one basic communication training program and everybody is attending it. No. So you'll once you understand who is lacking in which area, you're designing a special program for only those two employees. Third is the delivery of the training. How well are you connecting in the training program with them? What are the methods that you're using? What is the connect that you're bringing in the training program? Is it just the presentation which is running and you're reading the lines? Is it how examples, what examples you're quoting, or the exercise building that you're doing in the class? And then what is the evaluation? How are you evaluating the effectiveness of the training program? These are the four main steps of designing any training program. If these steps are done in a correct manner, then it becomes very easy for the organization to fill the gap and to gauge the effectiveness. Any questions here?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So TNA, it's a process that a business goes through in order to determine all the training that needs to be completed in a certain period to allow the team to complete the job as effectively as possible, as well as they progress and they grow. So if the organization has hired a marketing manager, he expects that person to bring results as soon as possible. And if he thinks, if the organization thinks that the employee is lacking in certain skills, then they would want a training program. You quickly train him, develop this person, let him understand, be confident of those gaps, and then start bringing us the outcome, right? Gap analysis, I've explained you. If you can see the chart here, the existing knowledge, skill, and attitude. Again, what is required is your knowledge, skill, and attitude only. But is there a certain gap when it comes to skill or attitude, your behavior, your knowledge? Is there a certain thing that is a miss, which is actually stopping you to perform in a better way with your job? Now, gaps and these analysis can be on various factors. So if you see here, performance analysis, what is the deficiency? Is there a gap in the skills? How do we address it? Need versus want. What is the desired, you know, uh, skill or a behavior by an organization, by the team, or by an individual to succeed? What is necessary for an organization to succeed? Goal analysis, how to clarify goals so that it is actually attainable. So you can't come up and say, okay, in 5 years down the line, I think I want my company to be the best in the world. This is a very vague thing, right? You need to be very specific when it comes to goal, something which can be measured, which is specific, attainable, something which is time bound. So you'll have to give yourself a target, right? Where you're saying that in 5 years down the line, I want to see my company strength goes from 50 to 500. So you're giving yourself a time limit of 5 years. You're also giving something which can be measured in terms of employee strength. Okay. Job or task analysis. What is the process of breaking a skill down into smaller components to complete a task? How to attain the SOPs to perform a task. Standard operating procedures are basically certain set of guidelines which helps you to perform your job on a daily basis. It has all the details of how and what to function as. Okay, just give me a moment, huh? Target population analysis. Who is the target population? How can the training be customized to your target audience? Now, this is one of the very important factors when we are designing a training program, to understand who our audience is. A very basic example, I have seen this in the organization happening. So there was this manager who had prepared a presentation in English, and such big jargon, words that he had used in the entire presentation. And he was coming and presenting it to the entry level staff in the store. He was all dressed up in suit and all, and when he started presenting, it was all business language that he was talking. And after this 3 hour session, training session, every staff came to us and said, ma'am, what was this training about? Or कुछ समझ नहीं आया. Nobody could stand up and say, sir, if you can explain this in Hindi, or sir, can you make it simple? So he didn't bother to understand who the audience was. Were they comfortable in the language that he was using, or the acumen jargon words that he was using? Was he able to understand during the presentation that is the audience being connected to him? Is he understanding his audience? The candidates, are they understanding what he's trying to explain? So everything is given priority, especially when it comes to a training program, because this is something where you're bridging a gap, where you're filling a gap for an employee by the organization, right? Performance analysis methods, it helps in understanding the root cause of the skill deficiency. It also helps to identify whether the employee who is having this gap performance is caused by the lack of skill, or was it just the attitude, or was it there were not much resources available, or there was something else that was actually bothering, which we can't control. So there can be various things, right? If I say that I am not able to complete the presentation today for the class, is it because I don't want to? Is it because I don't know how to? Is it because the Wi-Fi was not supporting me? Or is it because there was a storm outside and I couldn't work on it? Now these can be various factors, right? So it's important that you need to understand what is it, directly pin to it, and then start working on it. So this is what I'm talking to you in the first slide. So if you see the green one, it says that he has willingness to do and he can do it. He supports it with time and resources, tracks the progress, and provides proper feedback. If he has the willingness to do, but he can't do it, you provide a skill training, there has to be a root cause analysis, and you provide the resources. So he says, I really want to do it, but I don't have a laptop. I really want to write this mail, but I don't know what language to use, right? He has the willingness and he can do it. All you have to do is give him support, give him time and the resources to do it. You track his progress and then you give him a proper feedback. So if you see the second one, the yellow, he is not willing to do it, but he can do it. You provide coaching to him. You identify the critical consequences. What are the areas that is stopping him to do, right? Supervise the practice, keep a constant check on it, because he has the ability, he has the potential, but he's just not willing to do it. It can be an attitude, right? Red one is A, he's not willing to do it, so there's no efforts that he wants to put in. And second, he can't do it. Even if he puts an effort, he can't do it. So there again, you provide coaching, you can provide mentoring, you can do a training program there. You initiate policies, you bring him back to the foundation level and make him understand everything from the beginning. And you supervise the practice, right? Okay. Any questions on this slide?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me, For an organization, who's the favorite employer? Employee green, blue, yellow, red?
Is it blue, ma'am? Blue or green?
Any other guesses? Anyone else? As an organization, I think I will go ahead with green because he's willing to do it. He has this attitude. His behavior is positive and he says, I want to do it. And I can do it if you give me everything, right? If there's a laptop, is there everything, I am willing to do it. So I don't have to invest too much of my energy on this one, right?
But ma'am, if we go for blue, yeah, yes, we have to invest some money on them, but that willingness is there, right? So some
Right.
employees may not be having that willingness. They will be so lazy to do work too, even if we are hiring them. But still, we can go through some such kind of candidates, right? I mean, employees, right? So if that willingness is there, that is something we can't push them to make. If that should be there on their own, right? So even that kind of employee
Yes.
is also good.
Yeah, willingness again. Willingness is there, but he can't do it. Again, there has to be some deficiency there, right? Some gap there. Why is he not able to do it? Is it something that he is not aware of? Is he, there is laptop. He has a willingness to use it, but he's never worked on a laptop. So there needs to be a training program where we'll have to teach him how to use a laptop, right?
Yes.
But here, if you see about the green one, if you give them resources, if you give them proper feedback, everything is going smooth. So as an organization, I don't have to do a lot of investment in terms of my energy, in terms of finances on this guy, right? Because he's self motivated, he wants to grow. All I have to do is track his progress and give him constant feedback or motivation. You're doing great, right? For blue employee, I have to design, just give me a minute. So for the blue employee, I'll have to design a training program, I'll have to do an assessment, I'll have to find out what is the root cause analysis of it and how I can design a program around it, how I can develop this employee, right? If we talk about the yellow employee, he doesn't have the willingness, there's no attitude. So he says that मुझे करना ही नहीं है, सब कुछ है, I can do it, but I don't want to do it. So here you'll be thinking of a deeper coaching programs. You'll have to understand the situation. Why is it that he can do it, but he is not willing to do it? Is it that he's not very happy with the environment? Is it that he's feeling that, his manager was partial, right? So what is it? Are you understanding where this is going?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and if you say about the red one, it says not willing to do it and can't do it. So it's not only about the behavior, it's also the attitude, it's also the skills. So everything you'll have to work on this employee. So as an outsider, as an organization, if you say I have to choose or rate the employees, my first priority will be to choose the employee green. Then I might move to blue, then yellow, and then last, I I don't think I'll hire him. Can't do it, I can always train them on. But you're saying that when everything is there, I still don't want to do it, then there is something wrong. right? So when y- reporting managers work with the team over the time, over the period, they realize what are the different types of employees and where do they fit in this bracket. And once they understand which bracket they fit into, then it's easier for them to understand how to bring them up, how we can develop them. Okay. How is the training need analysis measuring the skill gaps? The skills, it brings results and are measurable. So if an employee needs to work on a software and he says, I don't know the basic language of it, so say Java, I am not very familiar with Java, but the company organizes a training program and make this employee learns the language Java. Now once he's understood the language Java, he can work, right? That was the only thing that was stopping him. So we can bring results and we can measure it. Second, it is improved over time. We can work on a better version every time. In terms of gaps, you resolve through training, you improve through practice and feedback. So when it comes to a gap analysis, you don't see that if we design a 2-day training program and I think we're done, the gap is fulfilled. It doesn't work that way. It has to be an ongoing, continuous effort wherein you're ensuring that the gaps, the training program is being practiced. A proper feedback on the outcomes, progress, performance, behavior, the skills is being shared by the reporting manager. Clear on this slide? Any questions? I'll go ahead. So once you do the analysis and find out there is a gap, you decide on the skill set. Then you evaluate, then you identify, and then you do the analysis. I'm not going to go further on the slides for today because I think this is way too much for you all to take in. I'll try and work on a project or case study where you can start working and start doing a need analysis. So let me work on it. I'll get in touch with Vivek and I'll ask him what we can do in that case. And then I'll share it in the group. You work on it and then you'll realize what are the different challenges that you're facing. Okay, so I'm not moving further on different topics. We'll end the session here because I want you to understand each and everything rather just, completing the session. Are we okay till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So think over it, whatever we've covered so far. I'll try and share the link with you all. If you have any questions, we'll discuss day after. And I'll also try and work on a case study so that you can work on it, right?
Okay.
So you guys take care and we'll again connect day after then. Any questions? Are we good to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that a yes for questions or good to go?
Good.
Okay. Okay, then we'll end the session here because the sense that I'm getting is that it is getting too much for you all. I'll try and bring more of practical, reports and case studies next time so that it's easy for you to practice on the job while we're getting trained on it. Okay. So take care and I'll see you day after then. Good
Thank
night.
you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, Can I get the previous and today's recorded session, ma'am? Because I was out in the middle.
Vishal, I've already shared the previous in the group. Today's, I'll share it by tomorrow. Yeah.
I think you 1 second. I'll just. Okay, ma'am. Today's session, ma'am.
Today's session, I'll share it to you by tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Okay.